Embryo, a medical thriller released smack dab into the sociological upheaval of the mid-70s and aimed at surfing the social ripples of legalized abortion and in vitro fertilization. Embryo is interesting mainly because it's fun to guess at the motivations of Dr. Hollister, the protagonist. This is a puzzler from the outset, as Hollister barrels down a night road in the rain, in a tremendous hurry for whatever reason. He hits a pregnant dog, mainly because he's driving with self-indulgent carelessness, then remorsefully drives the wounded pooch back to his palatial home, where he just happens to have a basement lab custom designed for nurturing disembodied canine fetuses. Okay. This astonishing coincidence surely means something. Hollister, we learn early, has another accident in his recent past. A Chappaquiddick-style mishap that claimed his wife. His obsession with her loss drives subsequent events as he orders her sister, now his housemaid, to fetch him tools and coffee, and tries to resurrect the dog. Alert viewers are already wondering if maybe he hit deliberately in the first place. Hollister, we also learn, is a gifted doctor driven by a determination to cure the plague of miscarriage. His wife and he had been haunted by them. He manages to isolate and rescue one of the dog's fetuses and promotes its gestation in an experimental incubator. The puppy grows rapidly, and after it transforms into an adult dog in a matter of hours, Hollister passes it off to his family as its own mother, so as to make a secret of his experiments. Heartened by his results, Hollister entreats a friend, who happens to also be a hospital administrator, to keep an eye out for a miscarried fetus in the emergency room so that Hollister can attempt his procedure on a human patient. Nearly immediately, he strikes oil. A pregnant suicide turns up at the hospital, and after some shady dealings, he has an unborn human subject on which to duplicate the experiment he'd just conducted on the dog he'd quote-unquote accidentally hit. A lot of rather dry screen time goes to showing his fight to save the fetus, which he almost fails to do. He is only able to arrest its preternaturally rapid growth by administering a highly addictive and presumably fictional concoction known as placental lactogen. Placental lactogen. This seems to concern him, but the foundling does stabilize, and he begins nursing her to consciousness. Hollister schools the fetus on subliminal audio tapes. Protracted laboratory drama yields the result. A fully grown woman gifted with the skills of a savant, presumably because of her origins in science, but completely bereft of life experience. An infant shoehorned into the body of an adult. A delighted Hollister acts as her mentor and advisor. He speaks to her as to a child. But we are plainly meant to notice how thoroughly her physical progress has outpaced her spiritual and mental advancement. Soon enough, her intelligence catches up. Recalling the tapes she had listened to during her gestation, she sort of boots up. Superhumanly gifted from the moment she gains consciousness, she nevertheless voraciously gathers knowledge from any and all sources. A chess master at a party, a computer engineer, and Hollister himself, of course. The procedure Hollister had performed on his miraculously rescued dog, meanwhile, is starting to steep in unintended consequences. Frankenpup, like Victoria, is developmentally accelerated, yes, but he also begins to act sociopathically. Victoria and Hollister make love, and as a complication, Victoria starts having sociopathic impulses too. Namely, because she discovers that she needs to consume the fluid product of the human placenta to stay alive. She begins acting like a junkie, almost a cannibal, and a morality play follows. Dr. Hollister's good intentions and questionable methods have consequences, and the whole experiment goes horribly wrong. Embryo is interesting for a number of reasons. Some are easy to get out of the way. Roddy McDowell manages to do a horrible job and steal the movie at the same time, in a cameo as a petulant chess master, whom 2 going on 25 Victoria humiliates without having ever played a game. Victoria is a fascinating character, and Carrera's stunning physical beauty shouldn't distract from the skill she shows in playing her. The theme in Embryo is in some ways a familiar one. Victoria is a scientific mutant, like Frankenstein's monster, and also a tragic figure in the mold of Rappaccini's daughter. But Carrera's performance effectively defamiliarizes it, reminding us why we care about souls conjured in unnatural ways, because they make us wonder what souls really are. This is the most intriguing part of Embryo, its take on the wild child story, that modern trope of the spirit growing up in an artificial, atypical, or isolated environment. In some ways, the movie wants to distance us from her, not only in her sociopathy and her addictive behavior, but also in more pedestrian ways, as she frequently commits social gaffes through either lack of experience or narcissism.
It's nice to be appreciated. In the cookbook, La Rousse Gastronomique recommends a touch more tarragon. I'll get the coffee.
This makes her seem alien, other than human, but also calls into question the arbitrary social mores she falls afoul of. After all, what sense do these customs make if Victoria, with her superior intelligence, can't intuit them? Similar ambiguity surrounds her relationship with Hollister. For most of the movie, he functions as Victoria's moral compass, as well as her guide, since he has the years of life experience she lacks. But even as Victoria's behavior becomes more questionable, we're still left to wonder about the odd coincidence in the beginning, when Hollister commits exactly the accident he needs to advance the scientific work with which he's become obsessed. Defining what lies inside and outside humanity isn't as easy as it seems on first blush. A world is easy to imagine whose beasts surpass us in their desire to be human.